joint pain, muscular discomfort, entirely up to you. If you need to stop and stretch, have a little rest, and then join in again when you're ready to do so. Usual props, a band if you've got one, otherwise a belt, a strap, anything to help, mostly to support the legs, and then a ball or a pillow to create a little bit of a resistance. So if you're seated, try to sit as tall as straight as possible. So see if I can ease the pressure off the front of the belly, ease the pressure of the rib cage, so that the diaphragm, the big breathing muscle inside the rib cage, can start to move in with a little bit more freedom. So try to sit up as tall as possible, encouraging the breath to drop down into the belly. So feeling the belly expanding with the inhalation and relaxing with the exhalation. If you're lying down, just take advantage of the floor, just allowing the body to relax completely onto the mat, the shoulders, the head, the hips, the legs are straight or bent, and then see if you can focus on that nice relaxed belly breath. As you try to keep that breath nice and soft and nice and relaxed, then start to run in a quick scan over the body. So same as usual, just noticing how the pressure is at the back of the body if I'm lying down, over my seat bones if I'm sitting up, comparing the position of the legs and the position of the arms. Are the arms in the same position? Are the legs in the same position? Is my head centered? Is it slightly off to one side? Is it slightly turned to one side? We're not changing anything, just noticing where everything is and how you feel to begin with. And then as you start to feeling the breath feels a little bit more relaxed, or the body feels a little bit more settled, then I'm going to start moving from the spine. Starting from the neck, I'm going to start with a little rotation. So I'm going to turn the head to look around the right, come back to the middle, and then I'm going to turn to look around the left. If you're lying down, your shoulders are on the ground, so they shouldn't be moving. If you're seated up, if the neck is stiff, the tendency is to wanting to bring the shoulder back as well. See if you can be aware. So with the corner of the eye, look at the shoulder. Can I keep the shoulder still and just turn the head on top? Then easing back. And then turn it the other way. So from side to side. I'm not forcing, just noticing the difference between right and left to side. Stiffer side is the side that I always pay a little bit more attention to. 3, 2, 1. Easing the head back to the middle, and then focusing down onto the thoracic spine, focusing down onto the upper back, upper back more. I'm going to raise the arms up at the front, clasping the hands together or keeping the hands apart, and then I'm going to start rotating from the torso, from the shoulders. So I'm going to swing around the right, easing my way back to the middle, and then going over to the left. Back to the middle, and right, back to the middle, and left. So if I'm seated, I'm going to take advantage of the space, so I can turn around as there's nothing behind me. If I'm laying down, I'm a little bit limited for range, but I can still get a nice rotation going by rolling from shoulder to shoulder, side to side. The hips are staying still, so I'm not taking the hips with me. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the upper back. I want you to cross your right leg over the left. So if I can, I'm going to cross at the thighs. So I'm going to lift the right leg and then properly cross it on top of the left. If I find that I can't do that, then I'm going to try and cross the right foot in front of the left. So whether I'm lying down or whether I'm sitting up, I'm trying to cross either at the thigh or at the shin and the ankle. Once the legs are set, with the right hand, I'm going to reach under the left armpit. With the left hand, I'm going to reach onto the right shoulder. And then give myself a nice hug. So if you can, allow the shoulders to drop away from the head so the neck feels nice and long. And then same as you did before, I want you to turn to look over the right shoulder. Now hold the head that way. And then with the torso, I want you to rotate to the left, to the opposite way. I'm going to hold that position here. 6 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Easing your way back to the middle. Keep the hug, keep the legs. I'm going to turn the head to look over the left shoulder. And then the torso to the right. So again, the opposite way. Going to go as far as I can. Hold it there. 6 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then easing back to the middle. Releasing the arms and crossing the legs. And then I'm going to cross them the other way. So the left over the right. It's the same as before. Thighs or shins, whichever it's easier. Left hand goes under the right armpit, right hand onto that left shoulder. I'm going to give myself the nice tight hug. Drop the shoulders away from the head. Think of a nice long neck. Turning the head to look over the left shoulder. And then the torso to the right. Holding it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then easing back to the middle. Keep the arms, keep the legs, turning the other way. Turning the head to look over the right shoulder and the body to the left. 6 breaths there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then easing back. Releasing the arms, releasing the legs, adjusting the shoulders, adjusting the hips if I need to. And then from rotation, we're going to go into little flexion extension. I'm going to start off from the thoracic spine this side. So think of a nice shoulder retraction. So I'm going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Finger pushing the chest forward, lifting it up. And then I'm going to protract, pulling the shoulders forward, pushing the rib cage back. Then again, I'm going to retract the shoulders, squeeze them together. and then protract and pulling them forward, round in the back, and reversing again. So keeping into that protraction, retraction. Again, whether you're sitting down or lying down, I can still get that movement going. So see if I can feel that thoracic spine extending and flexing. If I feel comfortable enough on the flexion, I can actually support my head and lift the head off the ground. And then pop it back down, retracting, extending, protracting, flexing, and lifting if I can. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. And releasing back, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, relaxing the shoulders and releasing the neck. And then this time I'm going to focus on the neck. I'm going to go into, again, little flexion extension. So if you're down on the mat, use the mat to guide you. So as I flex to the neck, I'm trying to press the back of the neck down into the ground. As I extend it, I'm going to try and lift it away. So I'm going to flex and extend. So the head is just gently rocking forward and back. The back of the neck is dropping closer to the floor and then lifting away. If you're seated, imagine your head to be against the wall. So see if you can get the same flexion, extension, flexion, extension into the neck. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And releasing back, relaxing into the neck. And then from we're going to try and see if we can get upper and lower body together. So reaching the hands to the back of the neck, interlock the fingers, and then rub them around the neck. So imagine your hand to be like one of those collar that you use, you know, after you had a little bit of a car bump, to hold your head still, to hold your head up. So I'm going to interlock the fingers, wrap them around the neck at the back, and then I'm going to create a little traction upwards. So I want to try and lengthen my neck, so stretching it out, stretching it long. Now maintain that traction, and then I'm going to start looking up, looking back. I'm going to maintain that lift. Think of the neck is still in traction, still long, and the upper back going into that extended position. I'm going to hold it here for 6 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now going into flexion, pulling into the back of the neck, tucking the chin, bring the chin down towards the chest. If you're down on the floor, lifting the head and the shoulders off the mat, maintaining that lift, and then hold it here, 6 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then easing your way all the way back. Releasing the arms, releasing the neck, giving the shoulders again a little bit of a roll. There's a little bit more movement through the back. See if we can start getting the hips and the shoulders moving too. So starting with the hip joint, what I want is to try and create movement. So if you know that you need a little support, then grabbing hold of the band and then place it around the right leg, the right thigh. If I know that I don't need that support, then I'm just going to keep the leg free. And then what I'm trying is to move the thigh bone into the hip socket. I'm going to start circling around. So if I'm seated, the foot can stay on the floor. You can lift off the floor. If I can lift it off the floor into that little circle. If you're lying down, think of pointing the knee straight up at the ceiling. So I'm going to pick up the foot, again supporting the leg if I need to support it, and then I'm going to start turning it around into the circle. So imagine your pelvis to be like a bowl and the leg to be the spoon. So see if you can try and turn the spoon into the bowl. Think of a nice, smooth movement. So nothing is grinding, nothing is pinching, nothing is catching in the hip or in the groin. 5, 4, the pelvis is nice and still. 3, 2, 1. Reverse in the circle, going the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release and down. Relaxing the right. Same thing with the left. So if I need the support, I'm going to put the strap behind the leg so that I can guide it around with the arms. And then I'm going to start circling around. So again, think of a nice, smooth movement. Nothing grinds, nothing pinches, nothing catches. Notice if you're holding tension into the neck, into the shoulders. See if I can keep the upper body as relaxed as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reversing the circle, going the other way. Pull down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing down, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the shoulder. So again, just trying to warm up into the shoulder joint, same as I did for the leg. I'm going to go into circle for the shoulders. So reaching the right arm straight forward, straight ahead, and then I'm going to start drawing little circles with my fingers on the ceiling. I'm going to gradually try to spiral the circle out. See how big I can make the circle, but same as I did for the hip. I don't want the shoulder to start clicking and grinding and rubbing. So I'm going to make the circle just as big or small as it feels smooth on the shoulder. So there is no pain, there is no discomfort. It feels easy, it feels loose. So it's a nice big movement. A smaller one if I feel that the shoulder is catching, so it feels a bit uncomfortable, it feels a bit painful. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reversing the circle, going the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Relaxing the shoulder, relaxing the arm. Same thing with the left side. So reaching the arm straight in front. And then I'm going to circle around. Starting with a little circle. And then progressively see how big I can make the circle on this side. The same as before, as smooth, as easy, as soft, as relaxed as possible. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reversing the circle, going the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Relaxing the shoulders. There's a little bit more movement into the shoulder joint as well. I'm going to go back into the legs. I'm grabbing hold of the ball or the cushion and then put it between the knees. I'm going to shuffle the feet a little bit closer together, and then I'm going to start pressing into the ball. So I'm going to squeeze the ball, squeeze the cushion as hard as I can, and then I'm going to ease the pressure back. So I'm going to squeeze it hard and release. And then same as usual, see if you can notice difference between the right and the left side. So I might find that my right leg is holding still, my left leg seems to be doing all of the work. So I'm going to try and pay a little bit more attention to this side to see if I can try and encourage that the right leg to come in as well, or vice versa. If I feel that I don't seem to be able to find a good connection on that side, then I'm just going to use the hand to guide it. And then easing back. So if I'm struggling with both legs, then I use the hands again to guide both legs into that squeeze and release. Both legs into the squeeze and release. So I can feel the tension, I can feel the connection through the inner thighs. Now, if you feel that you can make it a little bit more challenging, I'm going to try and create a little bit more load for the belly. So if you're seated, you might want to lean back into the chair slightly. So I might even put my hands down. I'm going to squeeze the ball, and then I'm going to try and pull up into the legs and then ease back. I'm going to squeeze the ball and then try to pull up into the legs and then ease back. So I'm going for a little rocking movement. Squeeze and lift. The belly is nice and tight, so I'm not grouping with the back. If you're on the back, I'm going to squeeze the ball and see if I can peel away the feet. And I'm going to ease them down, squeeze the ball, and then peel away the feet, and then down. So maintaining a stronger connection at the bottom of the belly, making sure that it doesn't feel as if the belly suddenly bulging, is suddenly popping out as the legs peel away from the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Relaxing the legs, releasing the inner thigh, relaxing the belly, and then I'm going to move on to the shoulders. Set the ball, set the cushion under the right arm. I'm going to pop it between the right side of the rib cage and the right arm. So it's tucked under the armpit. I'm going to bend the elbow and then think of your fingers always pointing straight ahead, not across, but always straight ahead. I'm going to take a deep breath in, and then as I breathe out, I'm going to try and reach the arm down. So imagine to be rolling the ball down the side of the body. Then I'm going to release, and then again, I'm going to try and roll it down. Release, down. So see if you can be aware of the shoulder moving up slightly as I release, and then dropping down as I press. So I'm going to go up, press it down, up, press it down, up, press it down. 3, 2, last one. I'm going to press it down, hold it there, and now give me a squeeze into the cushion, squeeze into the ball. As if I was trying to bring the arm into the side of the rib cage, but make sure that your fingers are still pointing forward, as the tendency is to bring them across and use the chest. I want to use the back of the shoulder and the front of the chest evenly. I'm going to release that pressure, and then I'm going to squeeze it again, making sure that the shoulder is keeping down. It doesn't feel as if the shoulder is suddenly creeping back up to your head, to your ears. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold the squeeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Relaxing the shoulder, relaxing the arm, popping the ball under the left shoulder into the left armpit, bending the elbow, fingers pointing straight forward, straight ahead, and then same as before, we're going to go into the little shoulder drop. So I'm going to pull the shoulder up slightly, and then I'm going to drop it down. Pull it up towards the head, and then push it away. Pull it up, push it away. Pull it up, push it away. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. Hold the shoulder deep, press. This is push it away from the head. Check that the fingers are still pointing straight ahead, and then start squeezing into the ball, squeezing into the pillow. As you squeeze, check that the arm doesn't start coming towards you. It stays pointing forward, straight ahead. So see if you can be aware of the tension at the back of the shoulder, as well as across the front of the chest. 3. Every so often, I'm going to check that my shoulder is still depressed, is still down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Relaxing the arm, relaxing the shoulder, and then I'm going to go back into the legs. This time I'm working the opposite. I'm going to go on the outside. So switching for the band, for the strap, I'm going to tie the band around the knees. Same as usual, if you've got the strap, so if there is no give into the band, keep it a little bit looser, so you've got some room to move inside of the loop. I'm going to use a little bow or a little knot to hold it in place so that the band doesn't come undone. A little bow is easier to undo. If I knot it, it tends to get tighter. And then I'm going to place it right around the bottom of the thigh. So it's not onto the kneecap, it's slightly above the kneecap, but down the thigh, down the leg. And then from there, if I'm seated, I'm going to shuffle the feet a little bit further away from each other. And then I'm going to start pushing out into the band. Both legs together. I'm going to push out as hard as I can. And then I'm going to control my return back in again. As you're pushing into the band, the same as you did for the squeezing into the ball, see if you can make sure that the two legs are working the same amount. So it doesn't look as if it's just my right doing the work or just my left. They're trying to work in sync. They're working together. So if I need a little guidance with the hands, I'm going to reach on the inside of the legs and then I'm going to guide them out into the squeeze. If you're lying down, the feet are close together. I'm going to push out into the band and then ease my way back. Squeeze it out and control it back. Making sure that, again, one leg is not taking over and it doesn't feel as if I'm actually rolling to one side. So the hips are staying on the ground, the center connected, helping me to stabilize it, to hold the pelvis nice and still, and as the legs are moving. And then as you keep the squeeze going into the band, whether you're seated or lying down, see if you can be aware of your upper body. As I push out into the band, do I feel my shoulders stiffening? Do I feel my neck tightening up? Do I feel my jaw tightening up? Can I keep relaxed, or can I keep softer through the jaw, softer through the neck, or softer through the chest? Can I try and direct all the tension, all the intention down into the legs or down into the hips? 5, 4, 3, 2, and then last one, I'm going to push it out. I'm going to hold that tension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. So relaxing the hips, so releasing the legs. I'm going to undo the knot and push the band to one side, allowing the legs to relax. And then I'm going to go back one more time into the shoulders, into the arms. So this time, there's no ball, no band, just to see if I can work a range of movement into the shoulder joint. Both arms together, I'm going to lift them up to the front. I'm going to take them up as high as I can. Keep looking where the hands are going, see if you can follow them with your gaze. Then I'm going to ease my way back down. Now try the same, but this time I'm going to go into a snow angel. I'm going to swing the arm out to the side. I'm going to bring them round towards the head, and then I'm going to take them back. And then again, I'm going to raise them to the front, as far up, as far back as I can. Take them down, and then swing them out to the side, round towards the head, back, and then forward again. So we're going to do one lifted to the front, one lifted to the side, same as you've been doing so far, making sure that the movement is only as big or small as it works for the shoulders. So I'm not creating pain in the shoulder, and I don't want to create tension into the neck. So if I find myself shrugging and stiffening to get there, then I'm trying too hard. I'm going to make the movement a little bit smaller and then see if I can keep it softer, see if I can keep it more relaxed. If you're laying down, it's a little bit easier as you're working with gravity, not against the gravity. So just make sure that the shoulders feel loose, so there is no tension, there is no discomfort in the shoulder joint as the arms are moving. 3, 1 to the front, 1 to the side. 2, 1 to the front, 1 to the side. Last time, 1 to the front, 1 to the side, and then easing down, relaxing the arms and relaxing the shoulders. I'm going to shuffle the feet and the knees nice and close together, and then keep the feet nice and close. I'm going to let the knees open out to the sides, allowing the legs to just drop, the inner thighs to stretch using gravity. So it's just the weight of the legs that is pulling me down. If I'm seated, I can't use gravity, so I'll have to use my arms. I'm going to push out onto the legs, and then I'm going to shuffle the feet out with the legs, with the knees, trying to get as far out as I can, as far out as I can feel a nice gentle stretch going through the inside of the leg. And then I'm just going to hold it steady. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Bring the legs all the way back in, keeping the feet and the knees together. Let the legs roll over to your right. If I'm seated, I'm going to use my right hand, and then I'm going to pull the legs over to the right. I'm going to turn away, so see if I can think of creating a little bit more stretch across the left hip and into the back. If I'm lying down, again, I'm going to take advantage of gravity, allowing the hips and the legs to just roll to the side and then relax to the side. Just make sure that the left shoulder stays on the floor. 3, 2, 1. Easing back to the middle. Taking the legs down the other way. And just allowing yourself to relax there. So if you're seated again, left hand onto the right thigh, pull the leg across and then turn away. See if you can get the stretch coming around the side of the hip and across the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And easing back. Then when you're ready, if you're lying down, pushing yourself up into sitting, finding your comfortable seated position. So legs wherever you feel more comfortable, leaning onto something. If I feel that I need a little support, using the arms if I need to create that support. It's finding the C-bones, so see if I can lift into the rib cage, lengthen through the waist, and then opening up the front of the body. So I'm going to start pushing the chest forward. I'm going to drop the shoulders down at the back, lifting the breastbone up and towards the ceiling, looking forward, looking up, looking back. And then releasing your way. Coming forward with the head, coming forward with the shoulders, dropping down as far as you feel comfortable, and then uncurling back up again. Pushing forward through the chest, lifting through the chest, lifting through the breastbone. Drop the shoulders down at the back, and looking forward, looking up, looking back. And then releasing forward. Chin to the chest, the shoulders come forward. Rolling down gradually. And then gradually coming back up. Last time. Extending up as far as you can. Looking forward, looking up, looking back. And then releasing back to the front. One hand to the belly. One hand